Oh my God, I'm shaking butter and I hear a baa coming from back here. And it's Josh's sheep from Backyard Organics business right over there. Again. You gonna come down and hang out with us? And thank God we were here, because otherwise you'd been wandering out on the road if you'd gone further down. Meh. Come down and hang out with us. I'll give Josh a call. I'm processing the last of the wheat that I gathered this last month. I saw some more down the street, actually, in a spot that we've been harvesting for like 3 years now. So there's still some left down the street. Still are cooking some food. And the black escapist from Backyard Organics, the business right over there, is tethered up with us. And yeah, I'm putting this wheat into my hand grain grinder and making some flour to make some more bread. I got a bunch of buckwheat sprouts here. Buckwheat only takes 70 days to go from this to being a mature plant that has harvestable grain or seed. Has more buckwheat. Here I am at the lower hay field of this farm that I work trade on sometimes, and they have an irrigation canal, little ditch, and it's going right now, but because it's dry season, it doesn't even make it down all the way. And we're about to enter the wet season, and as soon as we enter the wet season, then they'll be turning the irrigation off. This is a perfect place for me to plant guerrilla garden these in this ditch, because it's got the most sun. If I put it down there, there'll be less water and less sunshine. If I put it further up here, it's all choked out by plants, and the water level's higher, so it might bog down the seeds, and they wouldn't get as much sun. It would have too much competition from those other plants. I'll plant some of this here. Yeah, cover them up a bit so they don't totally dry out in the sun with full exposure before they get big enough to grow roots. All right, I got about a 20-foot row, windy row of guerrilla grown buckwheat planted. I had to finish processing, collecting the wild sweet pea that they just mowed down yesterday. So I collected it just in time, and I got this much out of 2 bags. I filled up 4 bags that were the size of these Ziploc bags, basically gallons. I collected 4 gallons of sweet pea, and I just went through and collected all the ones that had split open and separated them, and then I hung up the other 2-gallon bags in net bags right there, so they're not dried out yet, they haven't split open to release the seeds. So I hung them out in the sun, and so when I come back by in a week or 2 or longer, there'll be a bunch of split pods in those bags, and all the sweet peas will be in the bottom. I milked JC really late last night because I was up late, like till 1:30 on the internet, trying to make a positive impact on social networking, and then I milked her at 6 o'clock in the morning like I usually do. But so this is a really low yield, because it's only a 5-hour period between the last time I milked her and this morning. but made some cheese, threw some couple little granules of rennet in there, and milked her directly into this jar. That's how I make cheese. It's rather different from most people. Most people milk into a vessel, and they filter it, and then they put it on the stovetop and warm it up, and then drop the rennet in. But since sheep milk, since the body temperature of the sheep is like 104.5 degrees Fahrenheit, that's like the perfect temperature to make raw cheese. So I just put the rennet into this jar and then milk her directly into it, and then set it aside for 20 minutes or an hour. It's been like an hour. You can leave it in there as long as you want, but the point is that it takes like 20 minutes to congeal into cheese. And then you take a very thin knife, a razor works perfect, and you want to cut it. You want to cut it so that it releases the whey. And that's the cheese from yesterday. And let's see how the consistency of the sourdough is underneath. Nice, it's already starting to fluff up. It's got microbes working in it. Now I'm gonna stir it up, see what the consistency is. Yeah, that's sourdough right there. Perfect consistency. But since I'm gonna be putting in this new half batch of cheese on top of the cheese from yesterday, then the whey is going to drain through and it's going to make it all runny, and it would slosh around with my ram walking and running. It would slosh around and slosh back up on the bottom of the cheese mold. You just pour it in. You got fresh cheese on top, and you got the day-old cheese on the bottom. And what's interesting is that the cheddar cheese making process simply involves them stacking the cheese molds on top of each other so that they continue to drain whey on top of each other, and then they move the one that's on the bottom onto the top, and they keep rotating like that so that they can keep washing the cheese with its own whey. And what that does is it maintains the perfect pH. The whey is a certain pH, and maintains the cheese at a certain pH, so that the cheddar microbes that are already in the milk, when they come out of the animal, they're the ones that prevail. They're the ones that end up dominating the cheese and digesting it and culturing it into cheddar cheese. So yeah, it's kind of a lengthy process, extra process for cheddar manufacturers to do. So they don't do it with sheep or goat milk, really, because sheep and goat milk, there's not as much milk, so you can't make as big of batches. So it makes the whole secondary process of cheddaring less worth it, because they're not able to just stack huge molds on top of each other and make mass amounts of cheddar. So they just really don't. Like, I've never even seen goat or sheep cheddar for sale anywhere ever. But what's interesting is the way that I do it, like this, just by whenever I have extra milk and I make cheese, and I just pour the new cheese on top of the old cheese, that automatically makes cheddar without me having to do like an extra step or anything. What's also interesting is the cheddar microbe not only loves the pH of whey, but it also loves like 100-degree temperature. So normal manufacturing procedures require people age the cheese in a cheese cave at like 65 degrees or whatever, which actually slows down the cheddaring process. So not only is my way of cheddaring simpler, easier, and automatic, doesn't take any extra steps, but it also cheddars faster, much faster than the store-bought cheddar. I can create a cheddar flavor out of my sheep milk, and it starts in 1 week. It starts to have a cheddaring flavor. Like if I added each morning's cheese on top of this, and this will compact down because it's got a lot of whey in it. I can fit like 7 days of half batches, the same batch that I just showed you. I can fit like 7 days, so like sacrifice half the milk, or at the beginning of her lactation, that's like 1/10 of her milk, and that I would need to sacrifice. And I just keep doing that like once a day, and it washes over the cheese that's below it. And then what I get is more and more of a cheddar flavor starting at 7 days. The bottom is like cheddar cheese, and the middle is somewhat like cheddar cheese, and the top is fresh. Yeah, this is the super simple way to make cheddar that I have worked out by necessity because of my lifestyle. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot of whey in there. I'm gonna need to hand grind up some more buckwheat to balance it out. I like to stick this in the crux of my ankle and back of my calf, keep it steady. Take my flat whisk. There we go. Now it's thick. And that'll be perfect because the whey draining out of the cheese will balance it out in the next 24 hours. Flat whisks are better than the round ones. They're way easier to lick clean. Just lick one side and then turn it over and lick the other. Let's say sheep. Go.
You know this is not a camping spot, right?
I'm not camping, no. I'm just grazing them up here. I'm from the farm down the street, Billings Farm. We have some of the only unirrigated, because it's next to the irrigation, I think is what's going on, is all this stuff is green. Along we go along the talent irrigation ditch the entire way that we can. That's not fenced off entirely because the irrigation irrigates them underneath. So yeah, this is my dairy sheep and my pack ram. We're farm hands on the Billings Farm.
From what?
We're farm hands on the Billings Farm, just down the street.
Well, you're on my farm now.
Excuse me?
You're on my farm now.
This is the TID easement.
Do you own TID?
No, do you?
I own this. I own this dirt. I own that dirt.
Okay, I'm sorry. Were we troubling you?
Probably not hurting anything. I am having problems.
I'm sorry, what happened?
I have an RV storage lot. People are breaking in there.
Okay.
And so...
My name's Aaron, by the way.
Robin.
Robin?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm documenting it. I document everything.
I do feel like you're intimidating my space with that thing.
I'm sorry. I do this for my own protection so that people don't say he said, she
you're
said.
on my property.
Okay,
I'm
going to leave.
No.
All right.
I'm saying you're pointing a weapon at me.
No, I'm just documenting, sir.
You're pointing a weapon at me.
Why do you think that?
You know why. Why haven't you turned it off?
Because I'm documenting it for my own safety.
Get the hell off my property.
I am.
Okay, no.
I just said I am.
Now.
I said I'm getting off your property. Excuse me, you're standing in between my stuff. Thank you.
I'm in between your stuff?
Dude, Bro,
She's still on.
I know, because I need to document for people that act like you against me, dude. This is ridiculous.
Act like you're still leaving it on.
Because I need it for protection.
Okay. Yeah, now.
Thank you.
Now.
All right.
Get it.
Have a good day.
Well, you keep the camera on pointing at me.
I have to. Jeez, that's why I document everything, is because of accounts like
Still
this.
keeping it pointing at me, yeah.
I have to. Have a good day. I told you before you told me to get out of here that I was leaving.
And that was fine. The camera thing's a big deal to me.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to. I'm not filming your face now. If that's makes you feel any better. All right, good.
That's the problem.
If you had told me that you didn't want it on your face, I would have just put it in my belt, because this keeps it below your waist, and it keeps it from looking at.
And I'm threatened too. These tax free.
Oh, come on. You have a better day, brother. This is the Talent Irrigation District easement right of way. Entrance onto this property could constitute trespassing. TID does not condone public use of these premises and does not accept any liability for damages or personal injury. Whatever. Welcome from the TID over here, across the street, to the TID over here. He didn't say he owns this part of the TID. Let's go chill down here, eat my breakfast. Go down here and eat my lunch.